My manipulative sister told everyone I'm a disappointment and that my husband's money is the only reason I matter. Now she's acting shocked that someone finally said what we all think about her. I am the youngest of 7 kids. The problem I have is with the eldest sibling, my sister Mary. Mary has always undermined and judged my choices growing up. For example, when I wanted to take a gap year after high school to save money for university, Mary told me it was a bad idea and that once I took a gap year, I'd never go back just like her. I almost didn't go through with it because she made me second guess myself. Then, after the gap year, I changed my major after the first semester, and she yelled at me for hours about how I was going to ruin my life and waste all my money since I couldn't make up my mind. After meeting my husband, then boyfriend, and getting a therapist, they both helped me realize I needed to distance myself from Mary because she's extremely toxic and both emotionally and verbally abusive. It took a lot of effort, but I finally went no contact with her. I finished university, got a job in my chosen field, moved in with my husband, and eventually got married. For the first time in a long time, I felt truly happy. I still see Mary during family events and holidays. I hate seeing her because she always finds a way to ruin the holiday for me. She often takes digs at my husband, saying she doesn't like him and that could do better. My husband usually tells me to ignore her because he thinks she's only doing it for a reaction. Last weekend, we had our Thanksgiving celebration at my mom's house. When we arrived, my husband asked my mom if we could host Christmas at our place since her house is getting too small to fit everyone. Before my mom could respond, Mary jumped in, saying we shouldn't offer a home we didn't buy, and then called my husband a effing nepotism baby. That made me mad because she knows nothing about my husband's situation. My husband inherited our home from his grandfather after he passed away, so her saying that was incredibly insensitive. Both my mom and I told her off, and she quieted down for a bit. But during dinner, my brother asked me how work was going, and Mary chimed in again, claiming I probably don't work since my husband is rich. I corrected her, explaining that we're not rich and that I work as a preschool teacher and she knows this. Standing up for myself seemed to completely set her off. She yelled at me, saying I was only working there because I couldn't handle the other program I was in, and that she knows I'm not happy with my temporary job, and I should be pursuing a more serious career. Mary kept yelling, tearing into my life choices. I got anxious and nervous, so I started stuttering as I continued to defend myself, which made her escalate. My mom and siblings tried to get her to stop, but she wouldn't. Then she said something that hurt the most. She called me a disappointment and claimed my mom felt the same way. At that point, my husband lost it. He started yelling at her, which is rare since he's usually very calm. He swore at her and called her some names, including a bitch and a cunt. He also called her evil and said no one in the family liked her. It turned into a screaming match. My mom tried to calm Mary down, and I my husband, but neither of them would stop. My husband and I ended up leaving and going back to the Airbnb we were staying at. The next day, we went back to my mom's house. My husband apologized to my mom for yelling and ruining dinner, but said he wouldn't apologize to Mary. Since then, my mom has been calling me, asking me to get my husband to apologize, to keep the peace. Mary still lives with her, and my mom is tired of her ranting about how rude my husband was and cursing him out. But I told my mom I'm not going to make him apologize. I know he was rude, and some of the things he said were harsh, but Mary was always rude, and no one is telling her to apologize to us. Besides, everything my husband said was true.